or something like that. And he's like, that's almost 100% like contributed to not being patient and not seeing the results that you wanted to see right away. And a lot of people, when they start their business, or when they put up their website, or when they get into the solo SD, like, I'm going to become a solo esthetician, I'm going to be solid booked for months. And he's like, that's just not, it doesn't happen. It never happens like that, you know? And you need to be so, so, so patient with your business and consistent. And he started in his dad's wine business, as I said, and I was telling Maxine this before the video. He started making YouTube videos for Wine Library was the business. And he would make these like really absurd YouTube videos of wine tasting. He would taste wine and tell people exactly how it tasted. And it was really like, it was big for that time because only like the really elitist people would drink really fine wine. And so he would take this like $300 glass of wine and totally rip it apart. and no one like, and then it made it so relatable. And so he started a Wine Library TV 3 months or some like crazy short amount of time right after YouTube even launched. And so he created a YouTube video like every week, and he did that until he had 1,000 videos. And so that's the type of patience and that's the type of consistency that people need to get in their head, like that you need to have if you want to build a business. It's not about putting a few videos up over a span of a couple months. It's about putting up videos all the time for years and years and years until you have literally 1,000 videos. And so it was fun watching like the very first video of his, because it's like he was a little awkward. It was super ghetto setup. He has like a chalkboard behind him and he's like, hello. And like, it's just so funny to see how he's grown and progressed since then. So yeah, that's kind of my little spiel on the Gary Vee lunch. Yes. If anyone has questions about that, you can put it in the comments. I'm sure I left a lot out, but.
Yeah. So the overall experience of the investment in the books, and tell us about that, because that was like, so, you know what, Brooke, like, you know, some people might be like, oh my God, that girl's crazy to buy all those books, which I got 3 of those, by the way. And can I tell them what you forgot?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I bought 300 of his books, and then I forgot to bring a book for him to sign. So that was funny. But I got a selfie, which I feel like is like that was like kind of more important to me anyways.
No, for sure. But, you know, I bought 3 of the books from Brooke, and I was like, well, I'm going to see Gary Vee in May, so I'll get your book signed for you for when I see him then, and I'll mail it back to you.
That was hilarious. Yeah, so how I got to have lunch with him is he sent out an email. I'm on his newsletter list, and he said he just released his 5th book. I think it was the Crushing It. And he said the first people to buy, I'm totally spacing, I can't remember if it was 300 or 350 books, gets to have lunch with me in New York. And I like woke up and I was like, okay. And it was just one of those like spontaneous things where I just did it because I was such a huge fan, and I was like, this is kind of like a once in a lifetime opportunity, you know? And it cost over like $7,000, and I know that's so insane, and like it's like people are like, what the freak, why would you do that? And to me, I'm just like, I don't know. It's like, it's something that meant so much to me that it was something I was totally willing to invest in. And I think the amount of insight that you get with someone, like when they're in person, when they're talking to you, when they're giving you personal advice, is so valuable. And it totally gave me like the perspective that I needed on my business and what I needed to change about my business now. And he thinks so long-term. It's crazy. Like he thinks like 30 years in advance, and I'm thinking like a week in advance. Like that was, and so to get his perspective on things was like invaluable to me. And that's going to totally shift my business and totally, it's like the investment was just, I feel like it was totally there. I mean, I definitely got what I wanted. And you can't really put a price on like the return that you get. And so I know with like Maxine's beauty business summit coming up, it's just like, I feel like those are the types of people that, someone who can just be like, okay, you need to look at it as a learning experiment, as a learning experience, as an investment in your business for something that's it's like I go to seminars all the time and I take one nugget of information, and that nugget of information has paid itself off over and over and over and over and over again. So by putting yourself in situations where you're able to learn and invest in yourself and your business, I think is so amazing. And so I think with this summit coming up, it's just like, to me, I look at it as like, why would you not do something like that? Because that's how I am. But I know everyone is different in that regard, but I feel like that's the mindset that you need to have when it comes to your business. It's like, really take it seriously.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've added some more keynotes to that, and you guys guessed. We played a little game, and I posted a kindergarten picture of someone, and you guys guessed it. I am going to be following up with the answer. I'm going to put together 2 pictures and do a little reveal there. But let's get to the questions more importantly for today. We're already like 15 minutes in. I'm so glad. Great. No, thank you so much for sharing your experience with Gary Vee, because I feel like, just having time like that, I mean, it's so invaluable. But we did have some good questions, and it's not to say for those that are on, hey, Lori, we have some great people on right now. We have Lori on, we have, who else do we have on? We have Catherine, we have Lynette, and all of a sudden we have Urena, Ken, hey Ken, Emily, Deborah, Chris, Cheryl, thanks for being here with us. Thanks for being part of our tribe. And so the first question was actually from Shelly, and she's not on, but we're going to answer it because she asked a really good question. It's a marketing question, and that is, how do I stay on top of Google search? Which, Brooke, I want to hand that over to you because...
Yeah. That is the question that everyone would like to know because there is no one answer. There's a million things that go into your Google ranking. And I think for brick and mortar businesses, for estheticians especially, I think really focusing on reviews. And some of you might say, I already have a lot of reviews. And it's not about already having reviews. It's about consistently getting reviews every week, every month, on Yelp, on Google, on Facebook. I would say those are the top 3. And I've seen Yelp skyrocket someone's business because they have so many good reviews, and that gets you to the top of Google. It's about constantly putting up new content on your website. So blogging, adding videos to your website. And it's really about being consistent in doing those things. Also partnering with other local businesses, or they don't even have to be local. You could partner with someone who's in the same field as you. So let's say that you're doing, like, you want to do a blog article and you want to collaborate with someone who is like a nutritionist or something on an article and how nutrition affects your skin. And so let's say that nutritionist has a big following, and then they link your website on their blog, and it can be one of those blogs where it's also posted on your website and their website, and then you guys link to each other. That's called backlinking. And you can also find local magazines. And here's the thing, is like bloggers and local magazines and media type press, they're always looking for content. And I feel like a lot of people are scared to ask, like, hey, would you like to collaborate on an article? Or, hey, I have, I'm local to the area. I know you do a local magazine. I'd love to do a piece on, 5 summer skin mistakes that are commonly made in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's just like, it's about doing that kind of stuff, but consistently, because a lot of people, they do it once, or they get a few good reviews, or they or they collaborate on one article and they expect their Google ranking to go through the roof, and that's just not how it works. It takes months and months, and I tell my clients that all the time, and I still get asked about it. And I say the same thing. I'm like, you just got to be consistent, and it's not hard. It's a lot of work. And good example with the Gary V. He made 1,000 videos. Like, that's, talk about consistency. And that's the kind of mindset that you need to have with your Google ranking.
Yeah. No.
Emily, okay, sorry. There's a few questions.
Yeah, I see them.
Lori said, missed the name. Lori, if you're talking about
Gary V is what she thinks. Lori's asking. We're talking about Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary Vaynerchuk. His website is like in one of the comments. I think you can access that like after the video is over. Lori, I have such great reviews.
Awesome.
And I have so many great reviews on Yelp and never got any. I have so many great reviews on Yelp and never got any what? And so, Emily, do you recommend using Yelp advertisement? I think Maxine and I can agree that like very rarely has someone seen success using Yelp advertisement. And so I would advise against it. What I would do first is create a follow-up email for all of your clients and ask them how their experience was, and ask if they would leave you a review. It's like as simple as that, and it's free. Or you can do it through your online booking, and you'd have to pay for the online booking, but that's something that I feel like every single esthetician should have by now.
Yeah.
So no, I don't recommend Yelp advertising. And people who feel uncomfortable asking for reviews, like, I think is kind of like, just get over it, because that's what's really gonna get you reviews, is asking.
I can tell you just got back from Gary V.
I know.
No, but it's true. It's true. You do have to be careful on Yelp though. Like, so, like for asking a ton, like if there's clients that don't, like if they're creating a Yelp account just to give you a review, it might get flagged. Like, so all of a sudden, if you're running a thing, like some people are like, oh, run a contest. And if all of a sudden you've gotten like 15, reviews on Yelp, and, within an hour, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna send a little red flag to Yelp.
So have you seen that happen?
Yes. And I've seen Yelp will put you in jail, and there's this one little, like, you get flagged, and there's like this thing that will pop up on your page, like that you've been like a bad person, like you know what I mean? That there's like suspicious activity, basically. It's pretty crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I've never actually seen that happen. And I know that Yelp always says, like, Yelp is just, it's like a love and hate, because
I know
there's so many scammy things that Yelp does. It's just like, it's like I've heard, I've personally met someone who's taken a bad review down because they paid enough money. Like, that's just kind of how Yelp is. And so you kind of have to play the game. I don't recommend doing that, but like, they're scammy in their own right. So
yeah, Shelly, I don't recommend keeping your business off Yelp. It's like a love-hate. Like, let's just use them for what they are. You know what I mean? And just don't let them get under your skin about all the scammy things that they do. You know what I mean? And definitely claim your page and do all those things, and put your hours on, and upload photos and link to your website and all of those things. But I don't think you have to advertise. I'm in agreement with Brooke, and I definitely think we can use Yelp to serve us. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, one last thing about the staying on top of Google search is traffic. The more traffic that you get to your site, the more you're likely to move up in the Google rankings. So if you want to break it down, your Google ranking, I would say like getting as many reviews that you can on as many platforms, getting as much traffic as you can, and making sure that traffic is staying on your website. So like making sure that the time spent on your website is like between 2 and 3 minutes. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And so anything that you can do that can contribute to those things, just get creative with it. Like the more creative you are, the better. So.
Yep. No, all really, really, really good points. And just know that you're in it for the long game. I think that's like, I loved that you touched upon patience, because I think all of us as entrepreneurs, all of us building businesses, we can at some level and some point, we just get really impatient with the process. And I'm always encouraging the clients that work with me, I'm like, enjoy the process. You'll never have a first year in business ever again. You'll never, you know what I mean? Like, just enjoy the process, because those that stay in the game longer are the ones that have a greater chance of succeeding. Yeah, it really is true. It's and life is like, it's all, just enjoy it, so are we good on the Google?
Yeah, I have one question from Sandra. She said, how do you feel about a business card with instructions on how to leave reviews for Google Business?
I mean, you can.
Your way to do that, because you can send a follow-up email. You can have an automated follow-up email in your booking system with a direct link for someone to review you on Google Business. So I think that it'll be a lot less work for you to create a business card, and it will be a lot less work for the people who would be reading the business card.
I agree, because that card is offline, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make it really easy for them to like click here to, write that review versus, oh, I got to go and log in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just that extra step, and we want to make it really easy for them. So there could be a different call to action on the back, What kind of other creative call to action could you have on the back of your business card? That's what you could be thinking about too. So Shelley asked, how do I keep employees motivated on a day-to-day basis? So Shelley, I'd love to know, since you're on, how many employees do you have? I'd love to know how many employees that you have right now. And I could just say, and I'm happy to share my tip of what I used to do when I owned my spa and I had 19 employees. And I think it's hard, as a business owner today, and when you're leading a team, to keep that enthusiasm and keep employees engaged and keep them inspired and motivated. So I know that I didn't really like the doom and gloom meetings. Like, that just wasn't serving my particular well, it's like, I talk to owners, and that's a good question, because it's like, people dread meetings. It's like death by meeting, right? It's like, oh, another meeting. Oh, it's going to be a bitch session, or, whatever. And I used to only hold one monthly meeting, and it was very, very uplifting. And we only focused on the wins and what was new. So we celebrated those employees that sold over, $1,000 in retail. I usually handed them a cash bonus. It was very uplifting. And I saved any of the things that needed to be addressed for one-on-one. So, but really her question was how to keep employees motivated. And so one of the things that worked for me, and I'd love for you to try it, is I used to do just like this really quick team huddle in the morning. Like, and I might look at what was missing, like, oh, we needed like 5 appointments to fill for the day kind of thing. Or we needed to move this amount of retail off the shelf because it was going to start turning, so we do like a quick huddle of what the objective is for the day. Okay, go, and it was just really uplifting. It was like, this is our focus for the day, and okay, go. You know what I mean? It was just like a really quick team huddle. And And I think really, really making sure that as an owner that we're celebrating where people did well, and we forget that because it's really easy to pick apart the things where they're not doing good.
Yeah.
And so we really have to, the number one reason why people leave is not feeling appreciated. Yeah. And so, if you can, express in a genuine way, because people know when you don't mean it, you know what I mean? And you're not authentic, but really reminding them of how great they are or where they did well in one thing or another. So I hope that helps you.
I think that's great advice. I think having the objective for the day is really cool because it gives them something to focus on, and then it gives them a sense of like accomplishment if that was accomplished at the end of the day. So that's great.
Yeah. All right. So Liliana, she is so cute. So she had a few questions too. So she's entering her 8 years in business. Congratulations, Liliana. That's huge. And she goes on vacation more than any other esthetician I know of. And she's on vacation right now. And she said she was going to try to log into her Wi-Fi. But she says, so because she's in business for 8 years, what are some ways to freshen up my business without having to raise prices or change the logo? I'd like to know what your thinking is on the changing the logo thing. But one of the things that I asked her was, well, how far in advance are you booked, Liliana? And she came back and commented, and she said, she's booked basically 7-8 months in advance. So my suggestion to freshen up your business, Liliana, is it's time to bring on a little Liliana and it's time to grow a team. So at one point, and maybe it's not even in our vision, maybe we thought we were always going to be solo, you know what I mean? But when you're booked out 7-8 months in advance, it's time to start growing. So I wish you were on and you could chime in on that one, and you could totally chime in on the comments, but I definitely recommend, like, now's the time to start to hire. And it doesn't have to be as scary as you think. Most of my VIP clients are those that are going from solo to now they're ready to build a team, and I'm helping them get all their ducks in a row of what that entails. So it doesn't have to be as scary as you think, and it really is about attracting the right people. So you will find them, I promise. So we'll talk about that, Liliana. Okay. And then let's see. Shelly asked, she's got on her so it's a Facebook marketing question. She has 6,652 likes on her business page, and she wants to know, when she posts, she doesn't get that much engagement. My first question to Shelly is, how did you get those likes, the 6,000 likes?
So she does have 6,000. I went on her page.
Oh, so she listed it? Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you get those likes is my first question. And the reason why I'm asking is because if they're not people who are your target market, then when you go to post, or even when you want to run an ad or whatever, then it's going to be skewed.
Mm-hmm. I actually got Brett forwarded me a LinkedIn post from his CEO at Ignite Visibility, which is like a marketing company. And they're like the real deal. And he literally posted this exact thing. Facebook significantly limited organic reach for business pages. Here's what I'm seeing. Number 1, some people are still running page-like ads because that creates a clear audience you can target with more ads. 2, people are starting to use personal profiles again because they have more reach. 3, content marketing on Facebook has stayed the same, but you have to run ads on every post and create sequential audience targeting strategies. So basically, organic reach, from what Shelly's question, she said it would be nice to see some organic reach. And unfortunately, I think organic reach is just dying. And so Facebook doesn't really care how hard people work to get however many page likes they got. They're evolving, and that's part of their evolution process. And so I suggest getting really creative with your posts and ads to create a lot of engagement and making sure that you're targeting the right people if you're paying for those ads. Because like Maxine said, you might have 6,000 likes, but who knows, I don't know who likes your page, only you know that. And some of those people might not be your ideal audience, so they're not engaging with that post.
Yeah. But you know what, to play the devil's advocate, Brooke, yesterday I posted, and this was organic reach on my Facebook business page, and it's like hit or miss, like you never know. And, and it was just it was a picture of put a little spring back into your business, and it was a picture of flowers, and I'm like, enjoy, this free ebook if you want to freshen up your business, which, I just gave a free thing, and it got a lot of engagement.
Yeah, you were bringing so much value to someone. See, it's just like people expect to post like a random meme and get all this engagement. It's just like, make sure that your posts are creative. Yours is creative. It provides value for people.
Yep.
Like that's how you need to be thinking. It's just like, why would someone want to see this post? Like, and I always do, because I'm very picky with like what I like on Facebook. And I feel like since I do so much marketing, it's like, I'm a little more tuned in to like the different schemes or whatever. And so I always ask myself, like, would I like that? Would I engage with this? Is this funny? Like, I'm always kind of using myself as like a litmus test for stuff. And so make sure you're providing value and that it's engaging or it's funny. And so
yeah, that's it. I mean, for sure. Okay, let's see. And then let's see. Catherine asked that question about the VIP focus group to help make decisions. And Catherine, I think I think you could just ask your key clients. You know what I mean? That's part of the survey process. If you're looking to bring on new products or introduce a new service, that kind of thing, which is so funny that our next masterclass is on how to launch a new product or service in your spa business. So, I think it's really important to do that surveying and get a read on what your clients want.
Yeah, you can ask clients that have like already booked an appointment with you and maybe ask them right there in the appointment, hey, is it okay if I test out or, try out something new with you today?
Yeah.
I don't think you need to create a
focus. Look, we did that at the beginning of this live stream. We're like, hey, you guys, do you guys like a Q&A, or would you rather, when we do a Facebook Live to give, a Facebook Live class, would you rather it be a topic? And you answered, so that feedback is important, so we know what to give you, and the same thing goes for you. I think that your clients are willing to answer that for you, and they're happy to be of help for you, just like you guys are.
And then Catherine also asked, would adding videos to my Google listing help my Google SEO? How often do I need to post to Google? And is becoming more active on my Google better than focusing on Facebook or Instagram? So that last part, is becoming more active on my Google better than focusing on Facebook or Instagram? I would not say that it is. I think being active on your Facebook and Instagram is still, I would personally invest more time in that than Google. And if you want to post videos, if you want to start posting videos, which I think is a great idea, I always tell you guys this, and I want to get it through your heads, that the knowledge that you guys have is so many people wish that they had the knowledge that you had, because you guys are in the beauty industry. Everyone cares about being beautiful. And so you're able to look at a new trendy product and tell it's complete crap when everyone else can't, you know? And so I think videos are would be so valuable. And if you were to do videos, I would do it on YouTube, not necessarily Google listing, and it would help your SEO. But as we have said before, you have to be consistent about it. And the best way, from what I've heard of YouTubers, because I haven't made videos for my business necessarily, is you have to pick a day of the week, and you have to be consistent, and you have to not be a perfectionist. Just so pick a day of the week where you're like, I'm going to make a 5-minute video going over, 5 DIY don'ts, like all these like internet DIY things.
Yeah.
And, and you can market yourself as like the internet debunker esthetician or whatever.
Yep.
And then just get on every Monday or every Tuesday or whatever day you decide, film your video. And I filmed a couple of videos that I haven't put out yet because it's not the right time, but I just have my assistant edit them, and I tell her what I want in it. And I don't even really watch it because I know I'm going to pick it apart and not want to post it. And that's how, and like you guys might not be as crazy as me, but like that's how much of a perfectionist I am. And that's the thing that holds me back the most with videos. So it will help your SEO, but you have to be consistent about it. You have to have good content, interesting content that people are going to want to listen to.
Right, absolutely. And there's a tip right there. I mean, what we were talking about at the very beginning about how to increase or stay on top of the Google search engine. So you start building your YouTube channel. Now, what if, and I just happen to be doing this, I'm hoping the page is ready by the end of today. I've been wanting to do this for a year, is embed my YouTube videos on my website. Guess what? What did Brooke say earlier? Get a person to stay on your website for 2 to 3 minutes. Well, if they're on my website watching an embedded YouTube video,
that's 5 minutes. And that's going to help your Google ranking. Like all of these little tiny things,
yep,
they help build your SEO. And that's what, it's not about that one time, like, wow, someone stayed on my website for 18 minutes. It's about getting those 1,000 people to stay on your website for 5 minutes.
Yeah. So yay. Okay.
I think that's all the questions.
Is that all the questions? Okay, let's just make sure. Awesome. Great, Catherine. I'm so glad because you'll get to see mine. Hopefully, I'll have that up and running today. I've been wanting to put that up.
Sorry, Emily, is there a way to grab the link to your business Google review where you can send it directly to your client? Yes, there's a way to do that, and there's lots of websites. If you Google, find my business review link, you can literally type in your Google, your business name and your zip code, and it will give you the link.
Yes. Okay, good. Well, this was a good live stream. Thank you so much for being with us today live. And then for those of you who couldn't make it live with us, just go ahead and pop your questions, in the comments, and we'll be sure to address your questions as well. But we hope you enjoyed this today with us.
Yep.
All right. So thank you. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.